This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Moro Ojomo. He is underrated. Also, will Isaiah Rodgers get the opportunity to start? Lastly, Saquon Barkley is ready to go beast mode, but let's get straight into it. All right, man. So before we hop straight into it, we're gonna talk a little Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff spoke to Elliott Shore Parks. He spoke about coming out the 4 point stance and how it helps. And let me play this clip.
Recently about the difference between lining up with like standing up versus having both hands in the ground. When you have both hands in the ground, you're really explosive off the ball.
Yeah.
I was curious for you, just what is the difference in lining up? What are the advantages of one versus the other?
I think it's just comfortability, like knowing my body. I rushed that way for as long as I can remember. So it's like I just got that muscle memory, and my angles are different, like my shin angles and my leverage coming off the ball versus like when you don't know the snap count. From a 2 point stance, you kind of have to lean into it versus in a 4 point stance, you always have that tension on your hands. So like when you lift your hands off the ground, you're moving forward. So it saves time on the rush. I'm used to the timing and all that stuff. So there's a lot that goes into it.
So you did it more in New York, it seems like.
Every
snap, right?
100% of my sacks came off of me being in a 4 point stance.
Do you think you'll be doing it more moving forward than maybe you did before the bye?
I mean, I want to, but like I said, it depends on the scheme and what my coaches see fit for that specific play or week. And then whenever I do get those opportunities, like I said, I'm gonna just capitalize on them. But they haven't said if I will or not. But I just know, like, I talked to my coach and he's just like, yeah, like whenever the scheme allows, like hop in the 4 point. So
see, it sounds like a guy that can thrive off that 4 point stance, and he would prefer to play that way. But he says all about the scheme. So it looked like Vic Fangio is open-minded to it because he did run it a couple times. So hopefully, we can stick to what makes our player better, because it would be great if Bryce Huff work out. Even if he's just a pass rusher guy, at least he's just not no total bust. And hopefully, he showed more against the Giants, and hopefully he get the full sack, but he did get a half a sack. Got pressure, stopped the run a couple times against the Browns. Let's see if he can follow that up again. So I'm really happy that Bryce Huff is developing. Also, another guy that might be coming back, or I don't know what's going on with him, but James Bradberry. James Bradberry is in the facility. He spoke with the media a little bit, and he said he's taking it day by day. He's going to be more in that player coach type guy. And say what you want about Bradberry. At a time, he was playing at a high level, and we do have a bunch of young corners who probably respect him, and he probably could teach them a thing or two. But I don't expect to see Bradberry on the field, and if we see him on the field, I mean, we got a ton of injuries. So hopefully, he stay in that player coach type, that player coach type guy. We don't need to see Bradberry on the field, man. I know he make a lot of money, and I get that, but we just no way. But a guy we do need to see on the field is Isaiah Rodgers. Let's talk about it. Isaiah Rodgers, because Slade did not practice today. So this video is basically based on the injury report, and this is the injury report. Jalen Carter did not practice with a shoulder injury, but update on Jalen Carter is that Elliott Shore Parks spoke to the locker room, and a lot of people saying like he's going to be fine. Well, Dallas Goedert, we know he's not going to be fine. Hamstring. Jordan Mailata, hamstring. Eli Ricks, groin. Darius Slay, knee. Those are all the guys that did not practice. Over in Burks was limited. Milton Williams was limited. Byron Young was limited. Then you got Sidney Brown, full participant. Jalis Hunt, full participant. Albert O, full participant. And Nia Smith, full participant. So somebody, if Slay don't play, is going to get a shot. And to me, there's no reason to rush Slay out there. You got two potential studs out there. Well, we know Isaiah Rodgers could bring. You guys know I've been a big fan of him since he came to the Philadelphia Eagles. And to me, PFF, had a low grade on him, but I don't think the grade tell the full truth, because while he was out there, when Slay was out, Deshaun Watson wasn't even looking his way. He did a really good job. And I think the only mistake he made is something happened in the middle of the play or whatever, and then he got hurt. Looked like he re-injured his hand, but came back in the game. To me, he did a good job. Again, PFF is not telling the whole story about that because how can you grade a guy if he wasn't on the field? But if you look at like a guy like Top Billing and the breakdown gurus, they broke down his game, and Isaiah Rodgers had one hell of a day. So will we get to see that against the Giants? I like Isaiah Rodgers against Malik Neighbors or whoever they got, Darius Slayton, and I like Quinyon Mitchell, of course, against those guys too. So I would like that duo out there. If it comes down to it, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But Isaiah Rodgers, man, he deserves a shot. Keely Ringo was good too. He forced a offensive pass interference. Of course, the big hit. Kobe Dean should have tackled the guy from the start, but Keely Ringo definitely cleaned that up. So we got some guys that'll be fine if Slay need to miss a game, especially with a knee injury. So hopefully, not hopefully he don't play, but hopefully these young guys get a shot. I don't want to diminish Slay because I want a guy that I like to play. So hopefully Isaiah Rodgers get the opportunity and show like he's that guy, and make it tough for Slay to get his spot back. But let's get into the next topic. Moro Ojomo. Moro Ojomo is extremely underrated. His stats that are floating around about him, and these are the stats. Moro Ojomo this season, pressure rate 11.9%, which is the highest of any defensive tackle on the team. Also 15.9 pass rush win rate. That's highest of any defensive tackle from 2023 draft class. Fifth highest of any defensive tackle in the NFL. So this is a seventh round pick, y'all. Seventh round pick showing he is versatile and he can do it all. And you guys know I love Milton Williams. I really do. But if Howie decide, like, you know what, we're not going to pay Milton Williams, we're going to let him walk, I am okay with Moro Ojomo. Moro Ojomo is a better run stopper than Milton Williams. I'm not sure about getting a quarterback, but Milton Williams can get the quarterback. You see the pressure rates and stuff like that. And you've seen what he did against the Cleveland Browns as well. But Milton Williams got a sack too in that game, so I'm not trying to get the two guys to compete like that. But I'm saying if it comes down to it, Milton Williams is going to get a contract somewhere. But I will be okay rolling the punches with Moro Ojomo. Maybe you get somebody out the draft, like third, fourth round, whatever pick we got. I don't even think we got a third round pick because we gave it up for John Dotson. But if Mel Williams decide to leave, we'll be fine. But we found a way to keep Mel Williams on the team friendly deal and just have all these guys here because we know how Howie Roseman liked to take care of his defensive linemen, especially the guys he drafted. We're going to be really good for a long time as far as with the DTs, defensive tackles. Now, the edges, we just got to get that right. But the defensive tackles, the Jalen Carters, Moro Ojomo, Milton Williams, even Jordan Davis, like, was stopping the run. I didn't really see Byron Young yet. So, but we deep at the defensive tackle position. So, I mean, hey, if Milton Williams decide to walk, I think we will be okay. But let's talk about a guy, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley been really humble about playing the Giants, but AJ Brown had this to say about Saquon Barkley return to MetLife.
In the best way he can. Of course, I think the beast will probably be let out on Sunday, but he's doing a great job keeping it one day at a time, and he's just doing what he regularly does. And I just coming to work, doing the little things, and so I think you just break it down to making the most of each and every opportunity, and just focus on the little details, your keys, and try not to make the big play, just make the routine play. And everything else will take over itself. He's a great athlete. I'm sure he's gonna make plays.
That's what I think too. That beast is going to unleash once we get to MetLife. Yeah, keeping it humble now. Don't want to put too much on the game. But I think Saquon got an agenda. He really want to beat these dudes. And I think the Giants are going to fall for the bait, to be honest. They're going to load up the box, and they just going to completely forget we got Smitty and we got A.J. Brown. And this is a defense I know is strong and I know it's powerful, but they run Vic Fangio's defense. And we got Vic Fangio. So we should be able to pick this defense apart. We should be able to pick it apart. I know it's easier said than done. But if they run in the same scheme you got, we should be able to beat it. And Saquon, it doesn't matter. Like he said, if we go for 100, 200, 300, or 15, 20 yards, long as we win, that's what matters. Hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? Bryce, Huff, Isaiah Rodgers, Saquon Barkley, James Bradberry. But this is Eagle Out, man. I'm up.